The global semiconductor industry is reeling from the impact of retaliatory tariffs imposed by the European Union on U.S. goods. These tariffs, targeting products including semiconductors, are a response to perceived unfair trade practices by the U.S. This escalation has sent a shockwave through the global technology sector, with chip stocks experiencing significant declines. The interconnected nature of the semiconductor industry means these tariffs have far-reaching consequences for businesses and consumers worldwide. The semiconductor industry, critical for powering everything from smartphones to industrial equipment, is particularly vulnerable to trade disruptions. The imposition of these tariffs has created uncertainty, making it difficult for businesses to plan for the future. With no clear end in sight, investors are wary, leading to a sell-off in chip stocks. The longer these tariffs remain, the more damaging they will be, stifling innovation and hindering economic growth. This highlights the need for greater international cooperation and a rules-based trading system. The EU's retaliatory tariffs have been swift and severe, with both European and US chipmakers experiencing steep declines in stock prices. European giants like ASML, ST Microelectronics, and NXP Semiconductors have seen their shares tumble. These companies, reliant on exports to the US and other markets, now face reduced demand and increased costs. US chipmakers like Nvidia, AMD, and Marvell Technology have also witnessed significant drops in share prices. These companies, which power our digital world, are caught in the crossfire of a trade war, disrupting global operations. The decline in chip stocks indicates market unease about the potential damage these tariffs could inflict. Companies relying on semiconductors, such as automobile and consumer electronics manufacturers, are also feeling the pressure. Increased costs from tariffs are likely to be passed on to consumers, dampening demand and slowing economic growth. It is essential for both sides to find a negotiated solution to preserve the free flow of goods and services. The European Union has taken a firm stance in response to U.S. tariff policies, asserting its commitment to protecting its industries. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has criticized the U.S. approach to trade, arguing it undermines the rules-based international trading system. The EU's decision to impose tariffs on U.S. goods, including semiconductors, is a calculated move to send a strong message. The EU seeks to demonstrate it will not accept trade practices deemed unfair or detrimental to its economy. The bloc's leaders believe a firm response is necessary to deter further protectionist measures from the US. Von der Leyen stated, "The European Union is committed to free and fair trade. However, we will not hesitate to act when our interests are threatened." These words reflect the EU's determination to stand up to US protectionism. The EU's stance on trade is rooted in its belief in multilateralism and a rules-based international order. The bloc views US unilateral actions as a threat to this order and a danger to the global economy. The EU is seeking to rally international support and encourage the US to engage in more constructive dialogue on trade. The trade conflict between the US and the EU has cast a long shadow over the global economy, creating uncertainty and undermining business confidence. The imposition of tariffs and the threat of further retaliatory measures have disrupted global supply chains and increased costs for businesses. The semiconductor industry is just one example of a sector negatively impacted by these tensions. The current trade war is a symptom of a broader trend of rising protectionism and economic nationalism. As countries focus on their own interests, they are less willing to cooperate on global challenges like climate change and economic instability. This trend towards deglobalization poses a serious threat to our interconnected world. The World Trade Organization, WTO, has been weakened by actions from both the US and China. The US has blocked appointments to the WTO's appellate body, paralyzing its dispute settlement system. The current trade tensions are a wake-up call for the international community to recommit to free trade and multilateral cooperation. A global economy held hostage to trade conflicts is in no one's interest.